Howdy, welcome back. Sometimes when you're salvaging parts from an old laptop, you'll have a little hard drive left, and you might want to use that as an external drive. Now, to do that is real easy. You just buy an external drive kit that you can just slip the hard drive into, and now you can plug it in with USB, and you have an external hard drive. What you might not know is you might not be getting all the space that you should, especially if this is from a previous Windows installation. Today, I'm going to show you how to get that space back. And we're going to be doing it by using the most powerful single word command you can in Windows. Are you ready? Let's go. Okay, so you got your hard drive, you put it in its enclosure, and now you've plugged it into your computer. And so we're going to open up this PC, and you're going to see that it's got the little drive right here. One thing you're going to notice here is that the drive is kind of small. And I know that the drive is actually closer to 1 terabyte, not 120 gigs. And definitely, if I put this drive in here as a external hard drive and I notice this, I'm going to want to reclaim that. But all I can do with these current controls right here, though, is just format it. So NTFS for if it's going to be Windows, I'm going to do exFAT. It's because that'll work between Windows and Mac. So I'll select that, click Start, click OK, because you're for sure going to delete it, and then it formats. Done. And here's our drive. It's completely empty now. It's still 120 gigs. I haven't adjusted it by formatting it. I got to do something more than that if I want to reclaim the space that I lost. So what I want to do is open up a very important and powerful tool called the Disk Management tool. And I'm going to start typing partition in here. You can type disk too, that'll work. And then you're going to get to this create and format disk partitions. Go ahead and open that up, and that opens up the Disk Management tool. And here we go. It's a very powerful tool. It shows you the disks by number starting with 0 with kind of a textual situation up top and more of a visual down below. And this is really important because when we're going to be doing next is we're going to be eliminating all of the partitions on a drive. You can see right here, this is the 120 gig drive. It has multiple partitions. Here's the weird one. That's the only one we see right there. The one with the drive letter H. But then there's that recovery and that EFI. And then there's that big, huge blank section at the end here. That's completely unformatted. Now, we could use a partition tool that moves all these around. And I might show you that in a different video, but I'm going to show you a way just to reclaim all that space. And we're going to do it with one command. Now, I'm showing you this disk management tool for a very specific reason. If you right-click on these partitions here, you'll notice that some of them I can do stuff to and some of them I can't. So I could create a separate partition on that end one. I could format the one that we just formatted. But the EFI and that recovery partition, I can't do anything about. So even if I could reclaim all the rest of that space, I would still have that space left over that I could not reclaim with just using a right-click and formatting on its own. This is really annoying, and I definitely want that back. But I'm showing you in this tool because the disk management tool is really important because you're going to be erasing everything, and I have 2 1 terabyte drives in here, and you don't want to make a mistake. So first we're going to go to Start Menu. I'm going to type in CMD to open up the command prompt. Open it up as the administrator. You don't have to do the administrator, but when you do the next tool, which is called Disk Part, it's going to force the administrative window anyways, so you might as well just get that over with and do CMD and open as administrator. Now once you are in this window here, we're going to type in Disk Part. All one word. Now you can see my prompt has changed. The prompt says disk part, which means I'm not in the base command line anymore. I'm actually inside the program. All the commands I do from here on out are going to be to the disk part program. Disk part is similar to the disk management tool, but it's more powerful. We can do things in fewer commands. And how it works is we're going to say what we want to do and what we want to do it to. So we're going to list disks. We're going to use singular, list disk. When I hit enter, it's going to show all the disks. And now you're going to see why I kept the other window open for the disk management tool. Because you can see that in the disk part, all I see is the disk numbers. But over here, I can see the disk numbers plus the partitions all at a glance. And this is very, very important because you must know which drive you are going to use this command on. Because if you don't, and you do it on accident to the wrong drive, it will completely obliterate the data on there. It's not entirely true. You can use tools to get it back, but it's a pain, and you don't want to do that. I would suggest that you shut the computer down and disconnect the drives you don't want to use this command on. And so, for instance, just have the system drive plus the other drive that you want to use the command on, so it's easy to tell which one is which. But if not, just make sure you know. Okay, and I know that disk 2 is the one I want to do things to, so I'm going to, again, tell the program what I want to do, which is select. And I'm going to type disk 2, just like you see above. Now I have selected that disk, so all the rest of the commands I'm doing in disk part are going to be just to that disk. And so I want to make the next command, and this is the command that I've been telling you about. It's one word, clean. As soon as you type that and hit enter, watch what happens on the screen to the left over here. See? All the partitions are completely gone. And more than that, it even de-initialized the disk. So before I can do anything, I have to re-initialize this disk. So I'm going to re-initialize it. This tells you what partition you're going to use. You can use either or. I would suggest GPT. MBR doesn't go above 1.5 terabytes, and you want to make sure you don't have any compatibility problems. In this case, you could use either or. Just pick GPT. In general, that's going to be the best one to pick. So now click OK. And this now has been reinitialized, meaning that prepares it now to be partitioned and formatted. So now we're just going to put a new volume on it, just like normal. So we right-click, new simple volume. Next, I'm going to do the whole thing. Given whatever drive letter, you can put a name here. This is where you put your file format. We're going to keep it at exFAT. And then click next, next. When you finish it, formats it, and now you have all of the drive. You've reclaimed every single little bit, and there's no more hidden partitions. What a cool and powerful command that clean command is. That's just like I said, though, be very careful using it. You can really mess up a drive with it. But that's all I have for today. I hope you find this useful, and if you do, please subscribe, tell your friends, and talk to you later. Bye.